Hey, Gear Geeks! If you notice this box, it's a new gear day. Happy New Gear Day! How corny is that? So here we go. If I can get it open. MXR distortion. Can you see it? Randy Rhoads. So, let's go fire this thing up. Ooh, it's got the signature right there. And this is from the Concord guitar with the pinstriping. Let's see what this is. Yeah, Concord distortion. There you go. Just like the lines show. So what I'll do is I'll fire this thing up. I had it already kind of planned. Oops, that was kind of sketchy. Where I'm going to go through this Marshall into that distortion. Well, I'm going to take the distortion out. You know what I'll do is I'll play it real quick with the distortion so you hear what a normal distortion sounds like. And everything's pretty much clocked at 12 noon on the distortion pedal by Boss. So it's a familiar one. And then I'll hook up the Randy Rhoads. Well, you know what? Let me finish this unboxing, right? Because I got to get this thing open. Okay, from the magic of television, I opened up the box. And what you can see is it's really nice inside. This sticker is a rubber sticker. It's not, you know, the rubberized thick one. So it's not like a thin plastic. And there must be the feet. And look at this little baggy thing with Randy's signature on there. That's cool. Found it kind of nice. At the bottom of the pedal was a thank you letter and the serial number. The quick guide here was not helpful whatsoever. It was a generic one, so it had nothing, but they give you this. Look at that. And just kind of go through it with you guys. I haven't seen it. I just pulled it up. Wow, okay, there you go. You can pause that. I'm going to keep going. Yeah, so they did a first generation of this. It sold out, and they were going for like hundreds of dollars more than you purchased it for. So they came out with this new one. So I went ahead and bought it ahead of time. And then it finally came. It took about a week and it came here. A week and a half. That's kind of cool. It took them long enough to do that. I don't know why it took them so long. You think they would have been able to do something sooner? Before, you know. I wouldn't say you were riding the tailcoat of his death, but, you know. Anyways, so here we go. I'm going to play this pedal, see what we could do. So the pedal itself came in a real thick plastic bag, and then the really cool bag with Randy's signature on there. RR, Randy Rhoads, gold. That's kind of cool. It looks nice. Oh, let me flip it around. That's cool. All right, let me throw a battery in this. It really says a lot about me. You cannot put a battery in here. But since I have it open, you can look at it. They have this little resistor thing in bobber or capacitor. Must be their trick of the trade. Well, there you get to see it open. Let me put it back together again. Okay, I'm going to fire up a Marshall amp with the Boss distortion pedal all at 12 noon. And I am using this Gibson Les Paul. So the distortion pedal by Boss was for an example of tone. So I'm going to go from that Marshall amp into the Bogner cabinet with the Celestion 30s. And then I'm going to go into now the Randy Rhoads pedal at everything 12 noon with the guitar, and let's see what it does. Well, right off the bat, I could tell you, if you could see this, I am at 75% on both the level and the distortion. When you turn on your amp and then push this button, if you have it at 12 noon, you're below unity gain of the amp. So you're below the level of the amp. So it was right around here that I was pushing it a little bit. And then the distortion, well, I can go all the way here, which sounds okay in real life, but recording it over the cell phone gets kind of squishy and probably doesn't sound that good. So anywhere around the same thing, anywhere around here is cool. Anything more than that gets too much. Where as with the distortion, when you heard me play the distortion as a frame of reference, I was on that. I don't have an MXR distortion pedal. I know they're different, but these things, they're like sonically more too much. And, you know, Randy was pushing his amp and then playing these pedals and really getting a lot of noise in the background. And you can hear it in the recordings live, you know, all that noise. Because he comes from an era like I did where they didn't have a lot of the toys to get around the noise suppression that we have today. So one of my peeves about pedals, especially this type of pedal, is they don't give you a set of reference. Like, we made this pedal to sound like his pedal, or did we make this pedal to sound like the overall sound of Randy Rhoads? And if they did that, what was their starting point before they hit the button? So what was the level? Were they in the clean channel? I don't think so. I think Randy was like trying to get as much gain as possible back when there wasn't a lot of gain in the early 80s, late 70s. So, you know, there's that. I'm taking this away because you could see this Eddie Van Halen pedal. You could do all these little knobbered things, change any knob you want. But when you push this, it goes right to the Eddie Van Halen pre-designated tone. So for me, there should be, again, the same kind of thing as frame of reference. There should be some kind of, like, okay, notch, this is where Randy was, where we thought when we were going in an amp with clean. Or this is where we were thinking about when we were going through an amp that was wet. You kind of get what I'm saying? So it's great. Pedal's awesome. You know, I'll play with the pedal with other configurations. I just went with this. Let me just go over here real slowly. I went with this. What did I get caught on? Still got caught. Sorry about that. It's not slowly, not clean. I went with this Marshall amp, which is really kind of dirty and sonically not good. Went to a nice Bogner, and then where the cabinet was, I was standing way, way, way over there, which is about 20 feet away, and had my back slightly turned, and the amp is turned, not to me, it's turned to the total 45 degree from where I'm at, and you heard noise. I got a lot of noise, squeals, bad noise with the distortion pedal. But when I put Randy's pedal in, it had a lot more smoothness and was able to really handle the background noise that was coming out of the amplifier, because it wasn't the guitar. And it got a lot less with the guitar when I was using the Randy ones than with the Boss. All right, there we go, Gear Geeks. That's a long video for just one little thing, but you know, I have a little issue with pedals. I don't use them a lot, hardly at all. I do get them, especially if the anniversary pedal is kind of cool. But there you go. You guys take care.